President Donald Trump imposed sweeping 25% tariffs on all steel and aluminum imported into the United States on Wednesday, a policy aimed at leveling the playing field for U.S. manufacturing, but one that threatens to raise prices on a wide range of consumer and industrial goods for Americans. This is the latest move in Trump's multifaceted tariff strategy to correct perceived trade imbalances and revive domestic industries, but it also risks igniting a global trade war. The European Union, facing higher U.S. tariffs for the first time since Trump returned to the White House, retaliated within hours by announcing countermeasures on American exports. The steel and aluminum tariffs mark the first time in Trump's second term that such duties have been imposed on all countries without exception. Imposing these tariffs is a risky gamble. While they could benefit America's steel and aluminum industries, they also raise the cost of crucial materials for U.S. manufacturers, potentially passing those costs on to consumers. The disadvantages could outweigh the benefits. That's what happened during Trump's first term. Although the 2018 metal tariffs slightly boosted U.S. production, they also raised costs for vehicles, tools, and machinery, ultimately reducing output in those sectors by over $3 billion in 2021, according to a 2023 International Trade Commission report. These tariffs may even harm the industries they are meant to protect. William Oplinger, CEO of Alcoa, one of the largest aluminum producers in the U.S., warned last month that the tariffs could cost 100,000 American jobs, including 20,000 in the aluminum industry. Before this announcement, Trump's second-term tariffs had only targeted countries like China, Mexico, and Canada. In the case of Mexico and Canada, businesses could avoid the tariffs until April 2nd if they complied with USMCA terms. The EU reacted swiftly, calling the US tariffs unjustified and announcing retaliatory tariffs on up to 26 billion euros, $28 billion, worth of American exports, including boats, bourbon, and motorcycles. These countermeasures will take effect in April and are said to be swift and proportionate. The US was the second largest destination for EU iron, steel, and aluminum exports last year. However, according to S&P Global Ratings, the new tariffs may not significantly affect Europe's macroeconomic outlook, since China has already replaced the US as the top export destination for these goods. Australian Prime Minister Anthony Albanese also condemned the tariffs as entirely unjustified and contrary to the spirit of bilateral friendship, but confirmed that Australia would not impose retaliatory duties. Tariffs and escalating trade tensions are a form of economic self-harm and a recipe for slower growth and higher inflation, he said. That's why Australia will not impose reciprocal tariffs on the United States. Trump's first-term steel tariffs of 25%, continued by President Joe Biden, had led U.S. importers to shift toward other sources. However, the Biden administration made exceptions for allies like Canada, Mexico, Japan, and South Korea. Trump's latest move eliminates those exemptions and applies the 25% rate universally, with aluminum tariffs also rising from 10% to 25%. China will face an even higher effective tariff rate, 45%, because a 20% base tariff was already in place. Though the U.S. imports little steel directly from China, Chinese steel often enters the U.S. market indirectly or through mislabeled goods. Steel and aluminum are essential materials for many sectors. In 2024, the U.S. imported $31.3 billion worth of iron and steel and $27.4 billion of aluminum, according to the Commerce Department. Canada remains the largest source of these materials. Tariffs could raise prices significantly. Vehicles, home appliances, infrastructure, and medical equipment all rely heavily on steel and aluminum. Trump's attempt to hurt Canada's economy through tariffs may end up hurting American industries more, due to the deeply interconnected North American supply chain. Market prices for steel and aluminum have already surged, domestic steel up over 30% and aluminum up about 15% in just 2 months, according to analyst Phil Gibbs from KeyBank. Although some industrial customers may be protected temporarily by long-term contracts, if the tariffs remain, higher prices are likely, even for products sourced domestically or parts made with these metals. In a last-minute reversal, Trump withdrew his threat to double tariffs on Canadian imports after Ontario Premier Doug Ford agreed to suspend certain electricity surcharges for U.S. customers. Talks to renegotiate the USMCA are scheduled to begin soon. While President Trump's intention to protect domestic steel and aluminum industries is understandable, the approach of imposing universal tariffs seems short-sighted and potentially harmful to the broader economy. History has shown, even during Trump's first term, that such tariffs may bring only modest benefits to the targeted industries, while negatively affecting many others, particularly manufacturing and consumer sectors. Moreover, these policies risk triggering international trade wars, as seen with the EU's retaliation. The global economy is highly interconnected, and punishing trade partners without strategic exceptions could lead to inflation, job losses, and diplomatic tensions. In the end, while the idea of promoting Made in America is commendable, a more nuanced and cooperative trade strategy might achieve better long-term results without hurting American businesses and consumers.